Oh, you're live.
All right, we live. We live. Shout out to everybody in YouTube world.
Hello.
This is the Nerve of You podcast coming at you on a special night. And I'm up here with the co-host that love to do the most. We got Rose in the building, y'all. Got a little echo there. It's all good. I'm up here with the co-host that love to do the most. We got Rose in the building, y'all. Anyway, finally got that out the way. We fixed that. So, boom. We're going to jump right into it, man. We got a hot topic. And this kind of ran across my desk earlier. And I was like, wow, I think this would be a good topic for the podcast because I don't think a lot of people really speak on this subject, not in depth. You know what I'm saying? They may touch on it, but, DJ Envy wife, his wife Gia, made a stunning confession. Real talk, a stunning confession. They've been married for a long time. They got a lot of kids. You know what I mean? DJ Envy and his wife said that for 10 years of their marriage, she was faking it in the bedroom. And I was like, wow. I know that was a blow to his ego, for one, and his pride. Mm-hmm. Because, DJ Envy pride himself on taking care of his family. They dress nice, got good cars. I follow them on Instagram. Like, they living the rock star life. But imagine you're a millionaire, you DJ Envy, you on TV, you rubbing shoulders with all the celebrities, and your wife faked orgasms in the bedroom for 10 years of your marriage. So we're going to talk about that today. Well, this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to start off with a woman's point of view. Just out the gate, jumping into it. Is this a common thing amongst women? Go.
To fake an orgasm? Yeah.
Well, let me put a finer point on the question. Not just faking a orgasm, but a continuum of orgasms throughout a relationship because, you may care about a man, you may love a man. And as a woman, y'all inherently know that men, we got pride, we got egos, and we do a lot better in life when our ego is stroked a little bit as men. Right. You know what I mean? Y'all don't want to... Well, not all y'all, but most women don't want to totally crush the man that they love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to crush his pride. But if you look at the statistics and if you talk to any lawyer, the two reasons people get divorced the most is finances and sex. So clearly,
infidelity, right?
No. The two biggest reasons are finances and sex. And women are filing for most of the divorces, so clearly this is an issue amongst a lot of women that they're not getting satisfied in the bedroom. So at the end of the day, how many women, I know you don't have an exact percentile, but just from your experiences knowing, because you know a lot of people, and is this a common thing amongst women to fake it in the bedroom for, I'm put a final point, listen, for a man that they care about? Not any man. Because I know y'all won't spare the feelings of some dudes, but the man that y'all care about.
Yes. Why do I feel like I'm on the stand?
Well, I'm speaking for the men. You got to speak for the women. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's just how the podcast works.
Okay, yes.
I mean, you've been doing this from day one. Don't act like you don't know how to work.
No, but this is a sensitive subject,
Not really. So, now, with the faking it in the bedroom situation, my favorite term from the streets, right?
What is it?
It's levels.
Oh, yeah.
So,
facts.
Big facts. So, Snapple top facts. I would think that in a situation like this, now, do you have some women that can get good sex from a man and still, they still having that hard time having an orgasm? And then you got another level where the sex just isn't good at all. It's dry. Her mind is going other places. She's really not into it with the man. But on the other side of that coin, she really cares and loves this man. Excuse me. What if, they probably got kids together, they plan on building the future together. Do a lot of women navigate that space?
I do think because it's an emotional experience for us, a lot depends on how we feel about the man. So we'll 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 basically deal with it if we are like, truly in love with the guy. We'll I mean, when we feel like he's getting pleased, we get pleased. It's really mental like that. Especially if the woman is like a real submissive. That's how she's thinking.
But, and that's a good answer, but now, like I spoke on in the beginning of the podcast, Rose, now we understand that, the statistics say 70% of divorces these days are filed by women, right? So sex is clearly a major issue in a relationship. It's not the end all be all, but we're not going to act like it's not important.
I think a lot of times when men cheat, because I do think that that's the two biggest.
Well, I'm telling you the statistics.
The statistics, is it sex or is it cheating, infidelity? That's the two biggest
They
things.
said sex.
What about sex?
What you mean? What
That
about
is
sex?
bad?
Yeah, not being pleased. It didn't say infidelity in finances. It said sex in finances. You know what I mean? There's a disconnect sexually. So it's not about what we think. It's about what the statistics say.
Okay. Well, dang, women are.
For the sake of the podcast, let's go with the statistics. Not what we think. Let's
Okay.
go with the two biggest reasons is finances and sex. Other reasons that are the two biggest reasons they say that divorces are happening. And 70% of divorces are filed by women. So if sex is a major issue, then this means a lot of women are not being pleased sexually. Now, I would say there's a there. You see what I'm saying? Like, we can't act like it's not a there. There's something there that's saying that a lot of women, they not being satisfied sexually by the man that they care about. And he could be a good guy. He could be all of these things. But, how important is sex even on a hierarchy for a lot of women? You know what I mean? Is it like an age thing? Break it down.
I do think sex is among the top three. I think
What's the top three?
the top three is if the man is a competent man, if the man is a protector, if I'm sexually attracted to my man and we have a very good sexual connection. That's the top three.
Okay. I can dig it. I'm going to go ahead and reset the podcast for the people that just came in the room. Yo, this the Nerve of You podcast coming at you live on a Tuesday night. Y'all know what's up. All I need y'all to do is hit the like button on your way in. Let's run these numbers up. I'm here with the co-host I love to do the most. We got Rose in the building. And we chopping it up about a hot topic that was trending today. We got DJ Envy. His wife came out on a Breakfast Club today and made a stunning confession and said that for 10 years of their marriage, she was faking it in the bedroom. Now, moving forward in this conversation, so DJ Envy is a hell of a provider. You know what I'm saying? His family don't want for nothing. They good. They living great. Real talk. They living great as far as the provisions is concerned. Kids go to the best schools, all that. But that's one side of the coin. That's one side of a relationship, the provisions, right? And obviously we got a other side to that coin where sex is on the menu. Clearly they got about 5-6 kids. Clearly they having sex. Right. But the wife is not totally satisfied. She's not totally in it. You know what I mean? And she's faking it, or she faked it for 10 years. How many women do you think would even be that patient in their marriage? Let's say a lot of women had the opportunity to live like DJ Envy's wife, right? They got the rags, the richest story. They came from the hood, they made it, suburbs, all that, foreign cars, anything she wants, she pretty much get.
Right.
She living a life that most women would envy. No,
That's a good one.
no pun intended, right?
Right.
That most women would envy, but 10 years is a long time. We're not gonna act like this was a year or two.
Look,
10 years.
she got 5 kids.
It's about 5 or 6 something. They got a lot of kids.
Now, there's a lot of things that go into that. That's a lot of wear and tear on our stuff down there. So, I mean, there's some things you could do, some lasers to tighten it, you know. Maybe it's that issue. You know, that may be an issue. I never had kids. I don't know how it is when you have kids versus you don't have kids and the sensation and all that. I don't know how it affects it versus having a C-section, or maybe a lot of times I know one of my friends, she's told me that she never orgasmed clitorally.
It's unfortunate.
She never did that. And I was like, I looked at her like she was an alien. Like, what? Like, you never did that? You never pleasured yourself? And she said, no. And I'm like, so all your pleasure comes from if a man is doing it? And it was just the most shocking thing I've ever heard. So I do think it's important for us women to know how to please ourselves, so we're not so dependent on a man to please us.
Well, that's a good point. I'm not gonna act like it's not, but for me, as a man, look, I know I'm not gonna hit a home run every time. That's just not the case. My batting average ain't that good. I don't think nobody's is. This, we don't live in a reality of a porno film, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, me being me, if I know that my woman haven't had an orgasm in, let's say, over a week or so, couple weeks, and we've been getting it in for real, it's things that you got to do as a man to go in and alleviate that situation, because we are men of pride. We are men of egos. Like, we want to know that we satisfy any woman, let alone our own woman. You know what I'm saying? And I understand over time we can get lazy in the bedroom, complacent. That was a term we had in the military, says complacency kills. You know what I mean? And it really does. It kills a lot of things, even a marriage. But what I'm saying is, I put a lot of that on DJ Envy too. Like, dog, it's been 10 years and you don't even understand the vibe of your wife, that she's been faking it the whole time. Like, I know the difference when a woman is walking on clouds, like she got on furlong slippers walking around because she light, because she bust that, good orgasm. Or, like, you got some women, they'll knock straight out and go to sleep. Like, yeah. as a man, you should know these things. You see what I'm saying? Period. I don't care who you are. You should know when your woman has had a good climax. And that goes to show me that DJ Envy didn't even take the time to really get to know his wife's body like that.
Right.
And I've said this a lot of times too. A lot of men having a hard time with women these days because they just not intuitive enough. Truth be told, half this cheating that women be doing out here and scandalous stuff wouldn't be going on if a lot of men just paid attention.
And another thing, the way our bodies are set up, our vagina it was made for your pleasure. It was made for our pleasure, but mostly your pleasure. Our clitoris was specifically made for our pleasure. Like, think about it. Like, your penis is our clitoris. Our vagina we get pleased with that too, but it's not as pleasurable as your clitoris. And a lot of times when a guy is, sleeping with a woman, he uses that part, it's not like there's no other function for a clitoris than a pleasure organ.
But what I'm saying is none of that matters if DJ Envy not picking up on the vibes that his wife is even faking it. You see what I'm saying? That's not even his concern. You see what I'm saying? He haven't even got to the anatomy part of what's what, because clearly his wife is faking it. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and read off these super chats. Appreciate the super chat, DJ813. He said, the only issue I have with this is that she waited so long. I'm not sure when she informed Envy of this, but how can he fix something that he doesn't think is broke? Totally agree, my brother. And DJ813 right back. My man with the $5 super chat, and don't go public with it. Here's my thing. Let me go and respond to these super chats real quick. I don't blame her for not telling DJ Envy. I'm gonna tell you why. Because at the end of the day, why I can't totally blame her for not telling him that she faked it for 10 years is because women understand the temperature of their man, right?
Right.
Women obviously understand that, look, his ego was fragile, you know what I mean? Or he a little crazy, he might spaz out, whatever the case is. So I think she sized up DJ Envy and said, you know what? Me and him could talk about a lot of things, but I don't want to put this on his plate because I don't really know how he's going to react to a situation like that. Because I've had a lot of sexual conversations with women, but I would think that I'm a guy with an open mind. You see what I'm saying? My ego is not that fragile where if my lady came to me and was like, look, I want to do X, Y, and Z in the bedroom, that I would just dismiss it, or I would go ball up in the corner and get pissed off. But at the end of the day, what if DJ Envy's ego was that fragile at that time where they couldn't even talk about these things? See, here's the thing, and I know, excuse me, I know we online and we on YouTube, and on YouTube, every man is an alpha male on YouTube, right? No, real talk. Every man is an alpha male. Every man makes 30 women come every 30 days. This is YouTube, social media, where everybody can be who they want to be.
Right.
And I understand that every man is a porno star in the bedroom, but in real life, because we got social media, YouTube, then we got real life.
Right.
In real life, you know, as men, we have insecurities. As men, we have ego problems. As men, we only human. So we don't, when we get along with our women, or even when we get along with ourselves, this is where we got to face our demons, right? So who's to say that this wouldn't have tore DJ Envy apart if his wife came to him and be like, look, you know, for the last couple years, I've been faking it in the bedroom. I want to spice it up. I want us to get on the same accord. I want us to do X, Y, and Z. And what if DJ Envy wouldn't have responded well to that at that time? At that time. You see what I'm saying? Now, some people in the chat room said she shouldn't have went public with it. Well, here's the thing. DJ Envy had to give the okay for her to go public with that.
Right.
So clearly, I think that was something in that marriage that DJ Envy might laugh at. He's in his 40s, man. DJ Envy in his mid 40s. That he'd be like, look, the last 15 years, I've been getting it in.
Right.
And I don't mind talking about it because those days is over. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what I think, that clearly she's not going to put nothing like that out in the public because, you know, it came because she wrote a book. This is actually in that book. And most people get very candid in books. That's what they there for. There's no point in writing a book if you're not going to be 100% honest.
And tell the truth.
And tell the truth. That's the reason that you write a book.
Yeah,
and
man, after 5 kids, man.
So she went on the Breakfast Club and she talked about it. And this was something that came up. So it wasn't like she jumped on Instagram and said, hey, my husband ain't making me come. She wrote it in a book that obviously her husband had the okay. And he probably was like, you know what? F it. If it's true, it's true. See, we want to run from truth these days. Like, you ever notice that? And this is one of the problems that I really got with society within itself, because we're so far from reality, because we don't want to hear the truth. We don't want to operate in our own truth.
Right.
And at the end of the day, Couples talk about all the time how somebody cheated and they fought through it, how they had financial issues and they fought through it, how they broke up and got back together. Well, to me, bedroom problems is a part of relationships and relationship problems. What is so bad with talking about it? We could talk about everything else, but see, that go back to the ego, right? See, if I cheated as a man and my wife took me back, we could do an interview on Steve Harvey show and talk about it. But if I ain't putting it down in the bedroom, oh, we supposed to keep that hush hush. See, I don't believe in that right there. You know what I mean? If we could talk about this, we could talk about that, or we ain't gonna talk about nothing at all.
Right.
That's where the boogeyman coming from.
Facts.
Big facts. Because you know what? Especially if that's in the past, if I cured that issue, if I fixed that problem,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Or if I'm in the process of fixing that problem, that's the only thing that matters to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people got the mentality like, oh, she shouldn't have said nothing, da 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 da. She should just sit down and shut up. I mean, I get that and all that, but for me as a man, it's more important for me to walk around, because I like that feeling knowing that, I had a decent or good or great experience in the bedroom with my woman. I like that feeling.
Right, me too.
So, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm not going to trade that feeling for my ego, because I like when I'm walking around on cloud nine and I'm singing, you know what I'm saying? Because I just did the Beat It Up Right dance or whatever. This is the beat that you cannot. You know what I mean? Like you walk around singing because you put shorty to sleep. You like, oh man. And it puts a little bit more pep in your step. So for me, I ain't got to hide that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But anyway, moving on. I just wanted to address that for a minute, because now we're talking about the male ego. I'm just going to be 100. We're talking about the male ego, and we're talking about, a problem that, from my experience, I'm talking about when I used to be in the streets. My experience is that a lot of women aren't busting nuts. And this go back to when I was about 21, 22 years old. Shout out to my boy Kenny. Me and my boy Kenny used to talk about this all the time. And we came up with the conclusion. Me and my boy Kenny, we was young. We was like, yo, like, what separates some men from other men?
What is that?
We was like, yo, some dudes willing to get nasty and some dudes aren't. And we was talking about this as young dudes because we was just trying to figure out, okay, why a lot of dudes having all these issues, they having women problems and this and that. Not to say that we never had none, but me and my boy Kenny, we was living, you know what I mean? And I'll just leave it at that. We was really living out here, and we was trying to figure out, but then we realized, we was like, yo, a lot of dudes ain't really getting it in like that. You know what I mean? Like they not really taking a mask off and really getting real nasty like that. See, sometimes you gotta get downright filthy. You dig? Like real talk. Because if you think about this, if you think about sex, if you think about the bedroom, and I'm gonna get to the super chat in a minute. You already vulnerable. I mean, you two people naked. What y'all got to hide at that point?
Right.
That's one of the things I've always hated about sex. It's like, why we got a front right now? We both naked. We both seen all of our imperfections. Right. We seen all the good things about each other. Let's just go in. I don't like when you get with people and it's just kind of, real
mechanical.
This real prude attitude. Like I'm like, nah. We both butty naked. Butty naked. Let me hit the super chat real quick. Shout out to DJ813 for the $10 super chat. Coming right back. Boogie, thinking about it, it makes sense because Envy got caught in a cheating scandal, so he was putting the effort in with other women, but not his own wife. Just a thought. Yeah, DJ Envy did get caught cheating at one time. I don't know if the two correlate, but clearly, he should have been focused on one thing at a time, I would say.
Yeah, nothing dries us out than a cheating man.
That's funny. So moving on, but back to the women because I want to get a woman's point of view on like a lot of this stuff. Look, you know, what would be the breaking point you think that a woman would leave a man that she loved because of sexual issues in the bedroom? What would be the point? Like if she figured out that the man just not trying, if she figured out like, you know what, he just don't care about my pleasure, he only care about his. If she figured out, like, you know what, we got all the other chemistry, but we tried everything, sex therapists, we tried to talk, we tried, you know, to talk to clergy, whatever the case is, therapy, and we just don't click on that level. What do you think it'd take a woman to just wash her hands with the man that she loved because sexually she just not into? Or do you think a woman would just go cheat and get piped down by a man that can get the job done and stay with the man that she loved?
I don't think if she loves the man, she's going to cheat on him. I do think that if a woman is advanced sexually and she's with a man that's not as advanced as her, that's a big problem. And that's the problem that she probably would be in. And I do think she'll just leave. I do think she'll stay for a while, but then it'll probably mess with her and she'll probably leave.
Well, like one thing that I've heard from a lot of women.
That's why, by the way, that's why it's very important that a woman is not out there in them streets, because if you're not careful, if you get your numbers up, your body's not up that much, and you're really up there, then you got to be with a guy that has, doubled the things that you did, just so that the chemistry will be right.
No doubt. I can dig it. See, one thing that I heard from a lot of women is about the chemistry. I've heard a lot of women use the word dry in the bedroom and boring in the bedroom. I've heard a lot of women say these things in conversation or just me hearing women talk. And is that worse, sex being just dry? And like when I think of dry, I'm just speaking from my point of view. I think dry is, well, I would say dry would be, for one, there's a chemistry issue. Like there's a disconnect. Like we really not in sync sexually. We just performing the art, the functionality of having sex, the humping, but we not even in sync with each other out the gate. Like we don't even have that kind of bond. And we not even connected on that level to be comfortable and vulnerable with each other. So it is going to be dry. We just humping to be humping. And that's
Right.
what I advocate against. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So from a woman's point of view, is that a big issue with the sex? Because with women,
When it's dry, it hurts.
y'all got, well, not dry literally. I just explained what I meant dry is. I mean, not being
No
in
chemistry,
sync.
no.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
talking about the vagina being dry.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, you stay focused. you stay focused. But yeah, so from a woman's point of view, like, is that a big issue?
Yes, that's a big issue. That's why when things aren't going right in the relationship, we don't want to have sex. Like that's the last thing on our minds. We can't do it. And we almost have to. That's why it's so important for the woman to really like a man, because almost all of our pleasure comes from that. Making sure
Right.
he's pleased. Like even if he was not that good, we'll still be there because we like him. And another thing, I like what Dorcas said. She said that I think a lot of women are taught to not value sexual satisfaction as very high in a relationship. We are taught to value provision and other attributes of a man before that. That's definitely true.
I can dig it. I mean, because we got to go here. We got to explain all of the cheating going on in society. We're not going to act like it don't exist. Men and women alike. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of cheating going on. And at the end of the day, if people were satisfied sexually in the bedroom, I'm talking about women right now in particular, then maybe it'd be less cheating. It's always gonna be cheating, but maybe it'd be a lot less cheating going on if people can get at least their needs met. Now, you may not ever tap into every dark, twisted sexual fantasy that you ever had with a person. You know what I'm saying? But if you can get your needs met, I think a lot of people would be content with that. I think a lot of women would be content with that. Because let's go back to DJ Envy wife Gia, right? Let's say Gia had an orgasm. She said she went 10 years. Let's say she had an orgasm once a month, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm pretty sure that once a month would have held her over. If she can hold out 10 years, you know what I mean? That once a month, like, you know what? I'm getting my needs met. It could be better. We can work on things because you can always get better at anything in life. Right. You feel what I'm saying? That's just the way life go. You start off slow at things. You start off with your training wheels. Next thing you know, you popping willies through the street like Meek Mill or something.
Right.
So at the end,
After you riding motorcycles.
Yeah, like you riding motorcycles. So, we're not going to act like you can't be taught to be better in the bedroom as a man and a woman.
Right.
We're not going to act like, you can't put in the work, especially as a couple, because y'all a couple. It's more of a issue when you going from woman to woman or man to man, trying to teach yourself how to be better at sex, opposed to you got a man and a woman, right? Mm-hmm. And y'all together, y'all made a decision that y'all gonna be together, and y'all can work through that issue with one another because y'all safe with each other, and that stuff will never hit the streets. Like, you ain't gonna tell your friends or your family what we got going on. I ain't gonna tell my friends, you know what? We got a couple sexual issues, but we training ourselves to be better. To me, that would be the ideal situation in something like that, because look, who starts out shooting 3-pointers like Steph Curry? Nah, that take years of practice. Right. I mean, years of practice, and it may never not be perfected, but at the end of the day, just to get it right, it took years of practice. So, but again, because I know, look at the camera, because I know we on YouTube, right? Every man is an alpha male. Every man makes 30 women come in 30 days. Right. Every man is a porno star online. No, for real, because we can't be honest about a lot of different things, right?
That's true.
And a lot of dudes even watching the playback of this podcast is on some shit like, man, forget that, da-da-da-da, I'm the man. And we act like we don't come fast. A lot of men act like, we don't have these situations where it's just ain't right. You know what I mean? Now there's levels to it, but at the end of the day, we go through what we go through. You see what I'm saying? As human beings. But as long as you're willing to get better, as long as you're willing to put the work in, I don't see nothing wrong with it. But I think with all this, with all this fake machismo crap that they pushing, a lot of dudes don't even want to admit that they can be better. A lot of dudes don't even want to admit that they can take some time and put some real work in and get better. Who start off on a 10-speed?
Nobody.
Don't you start off with training wheels on your bike?
Right.
Don't you have a learner's permit before you get your driver's license? Everything in life comes in stages. It's a process.
Right.
Who start off out the gate? Let's say most guys lose their virginity 15, 16. Let's just say that's the case, hypothetically. Mm-hmm. What 15-year-old young boy is making a woman orgasm?
Right.
He might not make a woman come till he's 21, 22 years old.
Right, exactly.
But he worked his way up to that. And that's the issue that I got. It's like, look, yeah, DJ Envy got married very young. Him and his wife was together since they was kids. So the first 10 years of their marriage, let's say he was 17. I mean, he's a young man. And the problem that Gia, his wife, had was she didn't confront him properly on the issue, or whatever reason she didn't. But what I'm saying is, we're not going to act like, you don't have a baseline level where you're starting from and you work your way up to, a place where, you good with yourself sexually, and you confident enough to know that if need be, I can make my girl holler at the drop of a dime. You got to work your way up to that, man.
Right. Right. That's true. That's definitely true. Like, it's a real turnoff when a lot of, some guys, they'll talk to a woman and they'll say, yeah, I could please you. They start off talking all that sexual crap, and I wouldn't even be in the mood to want to please you if you talking about pleasing me. Like, it doesn't work. Like, when you're first meeting someone and you talk about sex, that is a turnoff to women. The reason why is because you haven't gotten her in that mindset to want to please you. So,
Well, like back in the day, shout out to everybody from the East Coast. We used to call it getting the women open. You see what I'm saying? Like, especially as a younger man, we wouldn't even spend too much time with women on a sexual tip until we got them open, because we understand these things can go horribly wrong. This is something that we knew as youngins in high school. Like, yo, we got to get them open. And it was funny because me and my boy Kenny, shout out to him, like we had comedy routines, like because we were so close, we could finish each other's sentences. So it was just a funny thing to see. And like we'll kick it with some young ladies or whatever. Because he had like the top floor of the house. He had like the attic bedroom. So we'd be up there wilding. And the thing about it was, give me and my boy Kenny 45 minutes to an hour. They was open. So then we can jump into the sexual innuendos and all of that. But we wouldn't jump right into it when it was dry ice. Are you serious?
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
A lot of guys, before they check the temperature, that's what they doing. Thinking that they could be, they could be the man. You could be the man, but if I don't see it, if I don't feel it, if I don't feel like I want to please you, if you don't have me in that mindset, it won't even, it'll be very off.
Well, sex is reciprocal. Like anything, look, a relationship, right, is an exchange, period. You know what I mean? It's an exchange. That's just how it is. And it trickles down with sex as well. Sex is an exchange between a man and a woman. You see what I'm saying? It's a very dangerous thing for a man to really only think about his pleasure. Like we talked about earlier, that woman truly has to love him. But even in love, people get tired. You know what I'm saying? And that got to be some deep love, or whatever the case is, for a woman to hang around 10 years and not have an orgasm or fake it in the bedroom, because a lot of women ain't going 10 months these days. You see what I'm saying? Let's just keep it real. We live in 2022 where women been exploring their bodies since they was, teenagers, man. So, a lot of women ain't going back to the regular degular. They like, look, this is my baseline level. Here's my standard on sex, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of women got that mentality. This is my standard. You at least got to hit this baseline level and work your way up. It just is what it is thing. Nobody want horrible sex in a relationship. And look, and I'll keep it so real. I'm not saying that sex got to be everything, because I ain't saying that.
But it's a lot.
But it's not insignificant either. You did?
Right.
So my thing is, look, that's a very dangerous place where you ain't, look, man, I'm going to be 100. A lot of dudes need to learn how to eat pussy, man. I'm just being 100 because, even with my experiences, you ain't always going to make a woman come during the actual intercourse of the sex. You see what I'm saying? You really got to have precision and know what you're doing. I'm just going to be 100. But, you got to get, eat that monkey, eat that monkey, eat that monkey. You got to do the eat the monkey dance. Eat that monkey. But I ain't saying you got to eat every woman off the street, but if that's your girl, why make a woman your girlfriend if you want to eat that monkey? You know what I'm saying? Like, my thing is just simple. Like, yo, man, it is what it is, but again, you know, I don't even want to get all into that, but I'm just keeping it 100. A lot of dudes, man, better get on the program, man, because dudes is losing a lot of women on stuff that could be tweaked.
Right.
Yo, all you gotta do is tweak a little bit here, tweak a little bit there,
Right.
and then your woman can get our basic needs met. But if you got this too cool for school attitude, dog, she gonna be coming into the nether hands of a Jamaican dude named Dutty. Like, yo, let me put this PSA out there, fellas. Don't ever let your woman go to places like Jamaica by herself, because there's always a dude named Dutty that's gonna pipe her down.
Oh my goodness.
This is what they there for, cause you know the Jamaican dudes is real stern. You know what I mean? Like they, and then the Jamaican dude named Dutty, he already know why she over there, and you know what I mean. Dutty can really sense the girl ain't have an orgasm in years. Dutty gonna blow the bag out, send her back home to you, straight up. So at the end of the day, a lot of dudes better get with the eat that monkey.
So there were two things somebody said. Nana said foreplay is essential, and that is a fact. And someone else said,
I kind of like eating pussy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just, yeah, man. I don't even know why. I just got stuck on it. Yo, every now and then, I just like to eat that monkey. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you wildin' right now. No, real talk. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just had to get that out there because it's like, yo, ain't no shame in my game. Like, nah, you know.
Somebody else said, does size matter? Now, I do believe experience matters way more than size. I do believe that. Experience.
And why is that?
Because the experience, like how much experience you have with your stroke game, and if you know how to please a woman, you know, with the kissing, the foreplay, all the other the other things. It's not just the size, because if you have the size but you don't have everything else, it's bad, you know. So the experience, especially the stroke game, that is way more important than size. But don't be sleeping with no hoes out there that they so loose, you know, they're not gonna really feel that much. So yeah, I heard when Trina, she did an interview, she said, yeah, you got only 10 inches, or she said something wild like that. Like, that's the only thing that could really please her. And I was like, wow, like she really out there.
Well, she X'd out, you know, it is what it is. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's Trina.
But I did hear a woman say that, you know, when guys are plowing away, right? And it's kind of like them shoveling like some snow or something. And women, in order for like us to kind of like, I wouldn't say feed the ego. I guess I could say that. It's like if somebody's sweating, you know, shoveling, like what you gonna do? Just sit there and not, you know, you're gonna start, you know,
so you said
feeding a lot of, okay, I would say this. A lot of women, I don't think fake is the proper term. I do think feeding the ego of a man is a better term. Like putting on your porn star act, or
I mean, I've faked it for women.
Yeah, like
real
putting
talk.
you know, putting the porn star act on, instead of saying, "Oh, I'm faking it." No, I feel it. I just want to make it, you know, put on a show.
No, I can dig it. I've been with women that, you know, it was kind of like that dry exchange, and you know, I had to put myself more into it than she could put me into it.
Yeah.
So I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna work my mojo and focus on what I need to do.
And talking heightens the whole experience. So are you faking it by talking? No, it's just you are making it more sensual, intimate. You're making it fun. I don't think that's faking. And like going back to what I said about how the date is a man's game, and I do think it's the woman's game to kind of quote unquote put the porn star feel into play. You know, put it
But
into it.
I get that, but as a man, as men in general, we we only judge by our performance. We only judge by, our output into the world. You see what I'm saying? Women are the receivers of things for the most part. You know what I mean? And um
We
hold
would
on,
sorry.
even if a woman even if a woman was just all about giving her man pleasure, that's just what lights her fire.
Yeah.
As a man, we still got something inside of us that we want to perform good. We still want to, well, at least we should. We still want to please. We still want to walk around um feeling like we on cloud nine with a pep in our step, because as men, we want to be good performers. What's the point of being on a basketball team if I'm only scoring 2 points? I want to be the guy that scored 35. I'm sorry. That's just, at least let me get a double double, 14 points and 14 points and 12 rebounds. At least let me get a good double double every night. I'm not trying to be the eighth guy on the bench that came into the game when it was only 2 minutes left and the team was up by 30 and I can come in and hit a couple free throws. I ain't trying to be that guy, man. So my thing is, and if all men are honest, no man is really trying to be that guy. You want to compete for that top spot, and it's all about performance. A man's life is performance judge. Any career he has, you know what I mean? How did you climb that career ladder? Or as far as your business, how your business performing? Or just whatever the case, are you moving up? A man is always going to be judging, even if his woman ain't judging him, which is very rare. A man going to judge himself. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's something inside of us. But if a man ain't to that point where he judging himself, then it's something wrong with that dude, man. If a man don't want to walk around like, yo, I told that, yo, dog, and most fellas, I mean, real dudes that can contest, we all had those sexual performances where you had to call somebody like, yo, real talk. Like, soon as you was done, you know what I'm saying, you left, kissed the girl on the forehead. I see you later.
Had a cigar.
You got, yeah, man, you don't even smoke. You done had a whole Newport. Like, dudes be stopping to get a whole Newport after a good exchange. So, boom. Like, he jumps on the phone. He had to call this man Brazzy. Like, yo, Brazzy, check this out, bro. Whatever you doing, stop. Like, particularly as young men, you might grow out of it, but I'm saying as men, we all had these situations where you laid the pipe game down proper. It was over for her in the bedroom. And then you just seen her just laying there, and you understand, yo, it just reinforces your manhood and masculinity, period. I'm going to call it what it is. You see what I'm saying? You reinforce your manhood, you reinforce your masculinity through the art and the exchange of sex with a woman. This is definitely a part of the game, so we're not going to act like, as a man, it's all about us getting our pleasure. Look, I get that. I get all that. Miss me with that. You know what I like? I like that feeling.
What do you like?
Let me tell you what I like. Hold on, Rose, because I just got to keep the real schematics.
Tell me what you like.
You're jiggling, baby. Go ahead, baby. Nah, let me tell you what I like. I like after a good performance, right? And without a shadow of a doubt, you put it down. You know what I mean? Shit, I made you the French toast. When a woman get up and cook after sex, like, you did something good. Right. Typically, you know what I mean? So anyway, boom. She done made you something to eat. She done massaged you. She done wiped you down. She done, you see the gaze in her eyes when you looking at her.
The twinkle.
Little twinkle, all that. I like after that, when I'm done, I go to the car. I'm driving home with no music. Real talk. Like, real talk. I'm driving home with no music, right? I don't even want to hear no outside influences. I just want to replay the tape in my mind. Like this is what, you know
Wow.
what I mean, a lot of men like to do.
That's nice.
So, we driving home with no music. Then you jump on the freeway or something. You might be on I-10 going east or something like that. And then, you just riding, you thinking, and you just cruising, man. You tilt your seat back just a little bit and that thing, and you just like, yo, man. You know what I mean? At least for the next few hours, you the man. And you going to carry that energy into the next morning like, yo, I done put that to bed. That's dead. I'm Gucci. You know what I'm saying? And then you go home, you shower, and you even jump in the bed real smooth. You just lay back. You know what I'm saying? You might put a little documentary on, but you got it on real low. You just watching the visual. You don't even want to hear nothing because you the man for that. Can't nobody tell you nothing. And look, all of this is ego stuff, but at the end of the day, all men, we have these moments in life where, you just feel like you untouchable. You feel, now you was at Self-Improvement Summit number 5 in Atlanta, right?
Right.
Now remember this summit. And we was in a club. I was standing on the tables.
Yes, I remember that.
So we was up in the club and I was up on the tables, and I felt like this is one of the best nights of my life. Like for real. The summit that we had in Atlanta.
Me too.
And at the end of the day, it gets no better than that. I think a lot of men want that feeling where you just feel like the man. When we was in the summit in Atlanta, I felt like the man. Like it was magical. It was something. It was magic in the air.
Yeah.
Just that night in Atlanta. And then, we left the club, man. You know what I'm saying? We had the VIPs decked out, popping bottles, all that stuff. Yeah, like my man said in his chat, we just feel untouchable, man.
Unstoppable.
All that stuff, man. So, it be like that after a good night of sex.
Mm-hmm.
When a man know he put it down.
Right.
It's dead. You put it down. Then the girl texts you like, babe, you made it home. You don't even respond to it. You like, girl, I made it home. You know what I mean? It be one of them things like you feeling yourself so much you can't even be humble. You can't even fake being humble. You like, man, girl, don't even text me right now. I done put you to bed. Ain't you supposed to be asleep? You know what I'm saying?
Just on the forehead.
You know what I'm saying? All that stuff, man. So, it just is what it is. It just is what it is. You dig?
Wow.
What you got to say?
Look, I can't stress that enough. Look, when a woman, I do think if a woman is all about her pleasure, I honestly feel like she's just a masculine woman, man. She had so much sex that she doesn't even really care about the guy, his pleasure. It's all about her. It's all about her. Yeah.
Yo, so like I say, sex is an exchange that, neither the man or the woman, can take for granted. You see what I'm saying? Everybody got to play that role, and that's what make the sex excuse me. That's what make the sex magical. If the man and the woman both do what they need to do, it could be great sex.
Right.
I'm talking about actually great sex.
Right.
I mean, that's what I see it as. I know some people may think differently. I don't want just great pleasure all the time. I mean, yeah, it's nice. You might wake up in the morning, you get a good blowjob or whatever, but it's nothing to me. This is Boogie's opinion. Nothing beats the exchange. Nothing beats great sex. And that's a man and that's a woman both going into it with the mindset of, I want to please you. And the other person saying, hey, I want to please you. If that's the goal, y'all can have great sex.
Right.
Not just great this or that, or it's good on your end, it's all right on your end. No.
Right.
So, maybe I just have a different mentality on it because I understand what makes great sex.
Right.
If
it's freeing. Yeah.
It's for sure. It's cleansing almost. Look.
Healing.
That too.
Yeah.
If I just wanted good pleasure, then honestly, it might be more feasible if I just go pay a prostitute $60 and just get some head. You see what I'm saying? Just get it out the way and I can keep it moving, no strings attached. I mean, it might be cheaper, it might be faster and more efficient, but if you want to have great sex, I'm talking about the exchange. Then the man and the woman, y'all need to come together and create magic with each other. And this is why, you should be dealing, um, you should be dealing with people that you like. You know what I mean? You should be
Right.
dealing with people that you vibe with. Because even as a man, we can go through dry spells with women because the truth is we really don't even really like them like that. We just, they just became convenient sex. You know what I'm saying? Like a
Mm.
lot of dudes not even free sexually because the woman that they having sex with, they don't even vibe with them like that.
They probably not really attracted to her like that. They probably just, and she's probably in her head like, oh my God, if I sleep with him too fast, he won't like me. Or I want him to give me what I want, so I'm going to do it. It's like so many extra things that pollutes your mind. So that can really make you feel not free, the opposite of what we said. So,
I mean, no doubt. And back to what I said earlier, you clearly got levels to sex and whatnot, this, that, and the other. But you know, look, man, a man and a woman got to be vulnerable, right? Sex at its foundation, right? At its foundation is an egoless exchange. You know what I'm saying? That's what it should be, ideally. It's an egoless exchange. And the reason why I say it's an egoless exchange is because when you having sex as a woman, when you're having sex as a man, if you leave your ego at the door, you automatically going to go into the exchange saying, how can I please you? The other person going to be saying, how can I please you? And you're not too concerned with your pleasure. You know what I mean? Yeah, you want to be pleased and all of that, but you putting that effort into the next person and vice versa, and all of y'all can get y'all needs met. If you go into it thinking about only your needs, then at the end of the day, that's just it. And then hold
yeah.
on, and then
Yeah.
also hold on, and then also too, the rules of sex, you know, it's only one rule in sex, and that's to create. You know what I mean? Sex is a whole energy behind it. Period. And that is to create and generate. Society put all the morals and all the rules on sex, and that's what we do as a culture. We do as a society. We do as a people. We put all this morale on sex, but really the energy behind sex is to create. You know what I'm saying? So if you are already in the energy of sex, you're going to be creative anyway. A lot of people have sex and they're not even in the creative energy. That means you're doing it with the wrong person and you're doing the wrong damn thing. Period. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people they don't even know what they're doing. Let's just keep it a buck. I'm just gonna go there. A lot of men, a lot of women, they don't even know what they're doing as far as sex. They haven't even explored parts of their mind. They haven't even explored parts of their body because all they doing is humping to be humping, or all they doing is they probably trying to distract themselves with sex and certain things, but sex is one of the most freeing things you can do in life.
It
But
is.
you know, you got to be safe and you got to be vulnerable, and you know, you got to be a sound and whole person. You see what I'm saying? Real talk. So at the end of the day, a lot of people truly don't know what they doing, and a lot of people, men and women, right? We all had these sexual exchanges where it felt like you was in the clouds, like you was in the stars. It might have been once or twice, but you was just up there, like, yo, this was ill. You know what I'm saying? You just clicking on all cylinders. But think about that sexual moment. You was so free within yourself. You see what I'm saying? For some people, it might have took a little alcohol. For some people, it might have took a little hit of the blind or whatever you went to. For some people, it just took the right person to come along and it just free you from all the things you got in your mind, all the things you got built up on what you think sex is, and you was just in the moment. You
That's
see what I'm
true.
saying? You was caught up in the energy of sex, and all y'all did was get together and y'all created. You know what I mean? It puts you in a certain mindset. It puts you in a certain energy. You dig?
That's
So,
true.
like I say, a lot of people truly don't even know what they're doing. But I don't even want to get into that because this ain't sex class 101.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can come to the virtual self improvement summit. I talk about it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, I ain't giving away no freebies. Because, at the end of the day, we don't talk about the spiritual side of sex. Sex is
Yeah.
deeply spiritual, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's deeply spiritual, man. And going back to Gia, DJ Envy's wife, you know, I would assume she didn't talk about this with her husband because she really loved that man. Look,
Yeah.
a woman's love for a man could be so deep that she don't want to hurt his feelings, man. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like that could totally be the case.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people do love somebody that much. You don't want to hurt their feelings, man. You don't want to hurt their fragile ego. And DJ Envy seemed like the type where, his ego is really easily bruised. To me, he seemed like that type or whatever. He got slapped around a few times in his career. I'm just being 100. This ain't even me. DJ Envy got slapped around and robbed and stuff like
Oh
that. He
wow.
wasn't the toughest guy on the block.
Right.
And so, she probably knew that, but she still loved her husband. So
Right.
she probably was like, look, I ain't even going to get into all of this. He's a good man. He's working hard, providing for his family. That might have just been a sacrifice she made. Real
Mm-hmm.
talk. That might have been a sacrifice she made.
Right.
I'm just being 100. I'm just being 100, man.
It makes
So
sense.
I'm just trying to give it from every angle because, look, man, um, all women just ain't gonna bust you out like that. Now, some women get mad and they put it all out there, like, forget you know what I mean? Never liked your dick anyway or whatever. But all women just ain't gonna hurt your feelings like that, man. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying it's up to the woman's discretion. Like, a lot of women don't really rock like that. You know what I mean? Because I had my fair share of women where, I knew I wasn't clicking on all cylinders at the time. I done been through bad seasons in life where I knew I wasn't my best. But, man, honestly, women have the ability to see past some things when they truly care about a nigga, man.
That's true.
And, that's like a real underrated
Quality.
quality, but that's just like an underrated energy to be in is when a woman truly love you. You know what I mean? Like, we talk about all the messed up things about women all day. We talk about all the dirt and all the griminess, but me personally, I gotta be 100. I ain't have a lot of bad experiences with women.
Right.
I'm just gonna be real. But I had my fair share, but not all of that. But I can say I like to talk about when a woman really love a man. I have experienced women's love at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for a fact that when a woman truly care about a man, it ain't nothing she won't do, man.
Mm-hmm.
A woman will drive a tank through a bank with a bonnet and some slippers on, man, when she truly love a man. So,
That's true.
I'm just going to be 100. I know a lot of dudes can't relate. I don't give a damn. I just don't even care no more. Because there's no point in me talking to those guys. It's like, y'all come to me when y'all can relate. Matter of fact, let me talk about this real quick. Like, one thing I'm satisfied with, Rose?
What are you satisfied with?
Beside the obvious. No, real talk. A lot of my subscribers are growing with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I chop it up with dudes, track dudes on Instagram, or they come to the summits, or, some dudes just hit me up and just let me know their location in life. They give me the grid coordinates in life. And I remember doing consultations with some guys 3 years ago and hearing their condition and circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And I do consultations with them today, and they brand new people.
Wow.
And you know the major difference?
What?
The major difference is a lot of these dudes are in relationships, man.
Oh, wow.
And I watch the way these relationships mature these men or young men. Honestly, I'm just being 100. And they in a brand new energy. They sound more confident. They I can hear the freedom and the growth in them. You know what I mean? A lot of them, they getting into a space of forgiveness. They getting into a space of just truth and acceptance about themselves. And I can hear a lot of these dudes in their voice moving past a lot of their issues. And that really makes me happy because,
That's beautiful.
you know, you got some dudes online, they're going to be forever stuck in this negative cycle. That's not my crowd, right? I got to be honest. I'm with progressive people. I'm with people that like to grow, etc. And when I see, even if it's only a small percent, when I see my subscribers growing with me,
Right.
when I see my subscribers just maturing as men, and they understand the power of a good woman, and they understand, the power of being a good man, what I mean, being a thorough, solid dude and all of that, I'm like, you know what? This what it's all about right here. Because I didn't keep them in a cycle of anger with women. I had to put them in front of a mirror, some guys, and it was tough. I had to say some things online I didn't want to say about, you know what I mean, just in general about looks or about this, or, I had to be blunt about some things like, yo, women don't like you because, you got two chins. Shut up. You know what I mean? I had to be real, but some dudes took that as a challenge and they got right. You see what I'm saying? So I'm very satisfied with that aspect of my, YouTube career, so to speak, because I'm watching dudes be leaders of women. And I'm listening to guys and they leading women in the right direction, and they realize, wow, man, these women ain't gonna hurt me. These women ain't gonna do
Right.
nothing. I've been listening to all the wrong information online.
Right.
But pretty much I've been listening to, guys that,
Hate women.
yeah, or just got a disdain or a bone to pick with women. But, on this side, at the end of the day, we get along with women. You know what I'm saying? Like we have an understanding of the opposite sex. It's not about a hate. It's about an understanding.
Right.
And once you get an understanding, man, you can get past everything. But it starts with just truth. We always
Right.
start there.
Right. I agree. I
So
agree. A lot of our scars come from when we weren't our best and how people treated us when we weren't our best. And then when we do the work and we finally start getting better treatment because we are becoming our best, then that's when you'll see the best of the treatment from other people. But some people really their morale dies when the treatment was so bad. They let that treatment break them. And I think a lot of times men and women, they broke a long time ago. They never got past that hurt of, okay, they're not looking in the mirror saying, okay, I wasn't my best. My self-esteem wasn't the best. My looks wasn't the best. My personality wasn't the best. I didn't become my best. I was supposed to be treated like that. Well, nobody's supposed to be treated bad, but if you
but
get
you
what I'm
put yourself
saying,
in that position.
yeah, it's
You know what I
who,
mean?
yeah, it's who you are. But very few people get past that and work on themselves and forgive and then receive the blessing of the better treatment from the people.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You got to keep it real with yourself, man, and that's my biggest thing. You got to operate in some truth. You know, and that's just where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? There's no need to live in a fantasy world. Um, there's no need to get out of reality with your own self. You are who you are. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? If you was better, you'll be getting better treatment. There's no
Mm-hmm.
other way. You know what I'm saying? If you was a Mercedes Benz, then somebody will pay 80 grand for you. But you a Honda Accord and they only want to pay 15. Um, I hate to say it like that, but that's just the reality.
Right.
You know what I mean? The only thing you could do is put the work in and up your value on yourself and treat yourself a lot better and love yourself. When you love yourself, you're going to treat yourself better. You know what I mean? No need to get mad. You know what I'm saying? No need to get mad in life. You know what I mean? That's just going to exacerbate the situation. But again, I say all that to say, Rose, I'm very satisfied with that part of this whole social media situation that I can really watch a lot of my subscribers growing with me, man. And, a lot of dudes that, I seen that was mad, years ago. You know, I'm listening to them now. It sounds like they got some type of peace over over their lives. You know, it sounds like they put a lot of devils to bed. And I like that, man, honestly. I really do.
You
That's
should be
good stuff.
very, very proud of yourself.
Well, I'm proud of them. It ain't about me. You know, my self-improvement journey, I'm 34. My self-improvement journey started when I was about, 19, 20 years old. So I've been at this for a while, chipping away at it. I didn't just wake up one day and just started talking online. Like, my journey started years ago, and it was in increments where, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. So it just accumulated what I thought was a good career, and what I was talking about, man. I was just in a good place where I felt like I could be the authority on certain things. Plus I like to stay in my lane. So, it ain't about me. I'm good. You know what I mean? I go through my self-improvement every day. I don't give a damn about that, man. I just want other people to be good too. You know what I'm saying? For real, because I know the power in transformation.
Right.
So anyway, we're going to start winding it down, but I want to say this. We're going to bring it back to the actual podcast. Look, 10 years DJ MB wife, right? She she faked it in the bedroom. I'm pretty sure in the book she'll get into a lot more details. It was only like a little clip on the Breakfast Club or whatever. Maybe that's the selling point of the book. A lot of people don't even think, they like, oh, she shouldn't have said it. Dog, well, promotion is promotion. When you're a celebrity, right, and you trying to sell something, most of the time they don't leave nothing off the table.
Right.
Let's just be 100.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson had to get on Oprah a couple times to talk about, his issues with the children and stuff like that. I'm sure it wasn't comfortable, but, at the end of the day, he'll drop a new album and go on tour, and it was what it was. Right. So, my thing is, maybe they just trying to sell the book. I'm pretty sure she'll go into a little bit more detail in the book. Maybe I'll read that excerpt. Maybe I won't. But at the end of the day, I do think sex is a problem in a lot of relationships for one reason or another. Sex, I'm going to leave y'all with this. Sex starts way outside the bedroom.
Way outside.
Way outside the bedroom.
Way outside.
Sex way outside the bedroom. Like, let's say you and your lady go on a date, right? Well, it wouldn't be a lady for you, but let's say you go on a date with somebody, a man going on a date with a woman. The sex starts when y'all start getting dressed for the date. You know what I mean?
Right.
The intimacy, the foreplay, that starts before y'all leave the house, man.
You could have sex with your eyes.
That's 1,000% fact.
Like, you can look at somebody like, oh my God, I want to just bond with you. I just want to, you could look at yourself. Yeah, so it's a beautiful experience.
I'd rather be with you.
Yeah, like it's a beautiful experience.
I'd rather be with you. Yeah.
When nobody is in that room, it's just you and the person, and you could be in a room with 100 people, but it's like, that scene in the movie where, like, somebody said that a romance film is a woman's orgasm, and like a porno scene is a man's orgasm.
I don't watch porn. I can't relate, but I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But so all of these things start way outside the bedroom. You dig what I'm saying? Just that energy, that synergy, the chemistry, you know what I mean? That bonding, all of these things start, you got to flirt. That's why, a lot of marriage experts say, even in a marriage, you never stop dating. You dig? You never stop dating each other. Because the dating is where the flirtation, you know what I'm saying, all the anticipation still lies and all of that is still good. So, I think a lot of people need to keep this in mind. We get complacent as people, period. We get complacent as people. You dig? We get comfortable, right? We get comfortable as people. A lot of us get caught up in a cycle of the regular degular because it works for us. You know, you're like, all right, yeah, I've been having sex every Tuesday, every other Thursday, and you know, I mean, I just want to keep it like that because it works for me.
Right at two
It's
o'clock.
yeah, it's no more. It's no more being spontaneous and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like you want to keep that energy in the air to create. Sex is about creating. It's not
Right.
about um deducing the energy. It's not a deductive process. Sex is
Right.
about creating. So at the end of the day, you know, you want to stay in that energy. And this happens long before you and a woman have sex. So you got to keep that in mind. You know what I mean? You just want to stay. And oh yeah, I forgot about this.
What?
It just really dawned on me. You got to feel sexy to have good sex. Meaning, you know,
That's a fact.
come on, man.
Okay, A1.
No,
Okay.
come on, you talking to the juice.
Class A.
Talking to the juice, man. Talking to the juice. But now, real talk, like, typically when a woman ain't feeling good about herself, it could be that time of the month, it could be a bad hair day, it could be, you know, whatever the case
Picked
is.
up a couple of pounds.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it's different sex from when a woman is feeling good, she's jovial, she's feeling sexy that day, she got her makeup, her hair, tools, all that did. Dog, that sex is a lot better than when a woman feeling sloppy or whatever. So, you know, you want to feel like sex. You want to feel good. You dig? That's very important. That's imperative to your mission. So a lot of people ain't having good sex because they don't feel good. They don't feel sexy.
Right.
And that's for a man and for a woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's different energies, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing. You want to feel good.
Right.
Period.
My favorite thing that she said that is becoming love. I think that was one of the most profound things that she said. Because I had to start looking at myself in a different way. Like, am I becoming love? That's a beautiful thing.
I mean, that's all you got to do in life. I mean, a lot of people don't understand. Let me touch on this. A lot of people don't understand in life, right? That, you know, the difference between a charismatic person, a warm person, a people's person, you know, socially inept. I mean, excuse me, a person with a high social IQ. Like a lot of these things, it's not a real science to it. It's just a lot of these people just got a lot of love in their heart. You know what I'm saying? Like they have a very warm spirit, is what I call it. And a lot of people that become, you know, minus any mental illness, socially inept, you know, socially awkward, you know, they become loners. You know, a lot of these people, man, they don't have a lot of love surrounding them, man. You know, love is a unitive energy. You see what I'm saying? It brings people together. You know what I
Right.
mean? And fear isolates us as people. You know what I mean? It's going to automatically have you wanting to be by yourself and do things alone and stuff like that. Love is a very communal, unitive energy that everybody can't share because some people blocking themselves from it. So,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of times that's just the difference in people. You know what I'm saying? Some people got just a little bit more love in their heart than others. And that's up to the individual to go search it, find it, get it in your life, and you'll see the differences. You'll see how people gravitate to you.
Right. Somebody asked, becoming love, what does that mean? To me, it means when I look at somebody, I'm looking at them like you're me and I'm you. Like how I treat you is how I'm treating myself. It hurts me to hurt you. And I will try my best to do to choose the best for you, no matter who you are. Not considering me, but not really. I don't have anything to do with it. It's just choosing the good for you.
I can dig it.
So that's what it is to me.
No doubt. Hey, appreciate you, Rose. You know what I mean? This was a pretty good episode. Shout out to everybody. Y'all follow me on Instagram at CBoogie Productions. You know, subscribe to the channel, share this live stream. We'll be right back at it tomorrow. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. Gotta bust a move. But this was a real good podcast tonight, man. I'm very satisfied with it. So I see y'all later, man, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.